It's my birthday month, so let's paint some party pigeons. For these pigeons, you are going to need phthalo green, ultramarine blue, and alizarin crimson, and whatever colors you want to use for the background and hat of your pigeon. And also some gold paint if you want to add some gold accents. We're going to start by outlining a heart shape right about the middle of our page. This is going to be where our pigeon nose goes. And from there, you can just start outlining the shape of your eyes. I like to bring the eyes right down really close next to the nose so that either the bottom of them lines up with the nose or they're even just a little bit lower. I feel like putting the nose right between the eyes just gives it such a cute look. If your eyes are not completely, even centered, don't worry about it. These are some ugly cute pigeons. So we're going to let them be ugly cute. If your brush strokes are a little wonky, it will be fine. From here, we're going to just lightly outline the shape of our pigeon with our paint. Now, this gray paint is made by mixing all three of these colors together. So that's the phthalo green, the ultramarine blue, and the alizarin crimson. We're going to mix that together to make a black and then add some water to make a really light wash. So we're starting with this light application of the gray, and we're going to bring that all the way down so that we can get our outline of the pigeon. So essentially, our pigeon is just kind of an upside down um, U shape. It's almost like an upside down bowling pin. So we're going to bring down our paint to kind of form the neck. We're going to leave that little spot on the top of the head because we want to place our party hat on our pigeon. So that's just a little curved line connecting from side to side. And I apologize if my voice sounds a little off. I seem to be getting a little sick, unfortunately. Kind of a bummer right before my birthday, but such is life. All right. So once we have our outline done, I'm just going to come back in with some plain water to wet the area. And then I'm going to dip into my phthalo green and drop that right in. Now, this will look very dark at first, but it's okay. The area is wet, so it's going to spread and it's going to dry a lot later than it looks. We also want to try to have like some more intense areas of this green and purple in addition to having lighter areas. All right, I've also mixed up some purple, which is mixing my crimson, alizarin crimson with the ultramarine blue. So this first stage of the painting is very, very easy. It's just these three colors. And as you mix that mixture, you can go for something a little more toward ultramarine, or you can get back into that gray zone. The only thing you want to be careful of is that you're not putting your green and your purple like right in the same spot. You want to leave some space for each of them because if we mix those colors too much, obviously it's just going to go gray again. All right, so once we have the bottom area of the pigeon in, we're going to come back up to the top and I'm going to start darkening the area on the left side of our pigeon. The light is going to be coming from the right, so the dark side of the pigeon is the left side. And we're going to darken up underneath his eye all the way underneath the beak. And as I come along the left side of the pigeon, I'm going to flick the brush out a little bit here and there so he gets a few little scruffy feathers sticking out. That helps add to his ugly cute look in my opinion. All right, and as we come along, we're just gonna continue adding some more shadow in as we go and darken him up. All right, now we're going to use some thicker paint. This is the black paint that we've mixed up with our three colors, and we're gonna start painting in the pigeon's beak. My pigeon was not quite dry enough, so some of my beak color bled into the side of the pigeon, but that's totally fine. We can fix that later. So you can either wait until your pigeon is a little drier to do this part, or you can just go for it and just use a clean brush to wipe up the excess paint. So we are also going to start painting in these cute little pigeon eyes. So the pigeon eyes are just kind of a U shape, and then we're going to just partially fill in the area of the U. We want to leave that top open so that we have a little bit of like a white reflective look in it. And once we've done both eyes, we're going to start coming down the left side of the pigeon again to start darkening him up there, just to give a real nice 3D look to him. We're also going to want to darken the area underneath the right side eye and then underneath the beak a little bit. Because the beak of the pigeon comes out, we want to show that there's some shadow underneath that area. We're just going to keep working down our painting here, adding some darkness where it's needed. And you can see here, I'm kind of refining the edges a little bit because the pigeon area, the gray area was already a little dry. So when you come in with your brush strokes, if you get a hard edge, you can just clean your brush out and touch it gently with a damp brush, and that's just going to smooth out your edges. From here, I'm going to start adding in some more of our phthalo green and our purple to really give him a nice intense color. As you can see, it looks much brighter than the finished product on the left because this is still wet, so it just looks a little more vibrant when it's wet. So keep that in mind with anything that you're painting with watercolor, that it does dry a little less intense, a little lighter, a little more dull. As you're adding paint to the bottom of your pigeon, you could also consider adding some thicker paint here and then dropping in some salt or some water droplets just to give it an interesting effect to it. I did drop a little bit of water on this one. And the other paintings in this collection, which are the 3 other pigeons that I showed you at the beginning of this video, I also did this. I dropped in some water on some of them. So it gives that nice back run look to the pigeon, which is kind of fun. Gives it some texture. All right, and we're just going to continue darkening the areas that we need to in order to make our pigeon feel 3D. Right here, I kind of cleaned up the edge of the pigeon's beak where my paint had bled out a little bit. Our pigeon still needs some darkening along the left side. He's not quite dark enough. So let's just continue doing that and continue that until you are completely satisfied with how your ugly, cute pigeon looks. Okay, so I've mixed up some of the phthalo green with cad yellow. And we're going to use this to paint in the party hat for our pigeon. So I'm starting at the top of the hat. I've kind of like estimated where the tip should be, somewhat center, but if you don't get it perfectly center, it's okay because it'll just look like the hat is tilted on the pigeon, or it'll look like he's leaning to the side or something. So don't stress too much over getting this exactly perfect. You can also refine your edges a little bit. And once I have that one layer in, I'm going to clean the water out of my brush and lift out a highlight. So to do this, you clean the paint out of your brush, not clean the water out of your brush, and just wipe it off on a sponge or a towel so you get a little bit of the moisture out. And then you're going to run your brush along that area that you want to lift the paint. And that will give a really nice, soft look to the edges of the area that you take the paint out of. I'm adding just a touch of cad orange into the eyes, and then we'll be ready to start painting our background. For this one, I'm going to use straight cobalt blue, and I'm just going to start by putting a line down on each side. And this way, as I come in with my lines, then I can navigate and determine where I want to paint the next stroke so that all of our strokes look even. So I'm just going down once on each side, and then I'm going to continue adding a line down or a few lines down on each side till I get toward the center, and then I can estimate the width of the final line. So I'm just going to speed this up here because it's just repetitive. I'm just coming all the way down, and as I reach the pigeon, I'm just painting along the side of the pigeon and then gently filling in. And I'm also leaving a little bit of a white gap between these lines and the pigeon that will just give a nice highlight. So those are all in, and now I'm going to add just a little bit more darkness along the left side. I want to have a little bit of a shadow underneath the party hat. And I'm going to add a little bit more shadow on the left side of the body. And I'm adding a little bit of detail into the eyes at the top, giving this pigeon a little bit of an eyelash and an eyebrow. This is gold watercolor paint by Lucas. I really love this paint and I'm using a fluid liner pen. So I filled that with that gold watercolor and I'm using this to get a nice thin line to draw the string of the party hat. For the bow, I'm doing 2 little loops on each side and then the string coming down. And I really love this watercolor so much in this fluid liner pen. I used to use PH Martin's ink, but I found that it tends to clog the pen. It dries pretty quickly and the mica clogs the pen. And I have this now as an alternative, and this just works so well. If you don't have a fluid liner pen, you can certainly just go in with a small brush and draw your lines, and it'll look just as good. So once I have the bow on, I'm going to come back and put some stripes on the hat, and then I'm done. And in retrospect, I think I might have just done some thin single lines going up to the hat instead of doing these thicker lines, but that's okay because I'm going to paint more of these so I can just paint the hat differently next time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial, and I can't wait to see everything that you paint as well. Please be sure to post your final paintings on our community page so we can all cheer you on. And I hope you're having a fabulous week. I'm planning to put out a few more videos with birthday themes since it's my birthday month. If you have any questions about this painting or any other painting techniques, leave a comment below and I will try to get back to you. I hope you guys are having a fabulous summer too. And right here at the end, I'm just going to insert the final 4 of these cute little pigeon paintings so you can see what it'll look like if you swap out some colors.